Delegates and guests are asked to take their seats. The program will begin again shortly.
or caring about who was the Democratic Party chairman of the state of Wisconsin.
So the new chair of the Democratic Party is Ben Wickler.
Thank you, Wisconsin!
This is the year when we build the foundation for Wisconsin to be the blue state that I still think it is at its heart.
Tonight, liberal Judge Jill Karofsky, has won a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
How did this result happen, Ben?
This was a backlash against voter suppression. The Republicans were willing to push people into a lethal pandemic. But this was also a win for organizing.
Wisconsin will play a pivotal role in the November election. Right now, the state appears to be up for grabs.
A major win for Joe Biden in the state of Wisconsin.
10 electoral votes. That was an important prize in the Democrats' blue wall.
What is job one for you?
Job one is re-electing Governor Tony Evers. He's been a spectacular leader for our state.
Governor Tony Evers has secured a second term in office.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I also want to thank these folks, Ben Wickler and the Democratic Party of Wisconsin.
If one of the conservative justices is elected, I can tell you without a doubt, the maps will stay the way the maps are.
The most consequential election in the country in the year 2023. The projected winner is Janet Protasewicz.
The move critical, flipping control of the court's balance from conservative to liberal.
11 points.
This was a voter uprising.
I'm Tammy Baldwin.
I'm Eric Hovde.
They're neck and neck for Wisconsin's seat in the U.S. Senate.
Our democracy is at stake. Our rights and freedoms are at stake. Healthcare and the economy.
Democratic incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin won a close re-election against Republican Eric Hovde.
Our state has the most dedicated set of volunteers anywhere in the country, in no small part because of the leadership of Ben Wickler, our state party chair.
The race for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court has now surpassed 2023 as the most expensive in U.S. history. Elon Musk figures prominently in the spending spree.
As a little girl growing up in Chippewa Falls, I never could have imagined that I'd be taking on the richest man in the world, and we won!
Tell us what happened last night.
Voters in Wisconsin showed that this state is not for sale, and they showed the country the idea that the government should be by, of, and for the people, not for sale to the world's richest person. And you can win elections, you can swing margins.
Fight in a way that makes a difference in people's lives so that they remember who was on their side when something went wrong. And they understand who's trying to rip them off. Like, that is the reason what politics actually matters. Is someone writing this down?
Please welcome to the stage Vice Chair Felicia Martin and Second Vice Chair Tricia Zunker.
Good afternoon, Democrats. Are you having a good time? Yes. We are so ecstatic to be here today with all of you to pay tribute and to recognize our outgoing chair, Ben Wickler. Ben Wickler is my heartbeat, I tell you. He embodies what I think, feel that a chairperson ought to be leading a state party. Why do I say that? Simple. Ben Wickler listens to people, and he's an organizer at heart, and he builds his strategy with the people at the core of what we do. When I heard back in 2019 that there was a possibility that Wisconsin could have a chairman, Ben Wickler, my husband will tell you, I lost it. I was screaming awful loud because I look at Wisconsin as the Ewok nation, as Governor Pritzker calls us. And I said, I need a rebel leader because we need something revolutionary right now because I'm sick of losing in Wisconsin. And I got to, yes, that should have an applause. You're right. We were sick of losing because of the right and what they were doing, and folks were going for that because they were acting out of their fear. But anywho, Ben Wickler was the person that I spoke to, who spoke to my heart and spoke to my values. I said, Ben, this is awesome, but I want to know what you're going to do for Wisconsin. And in talking to him and sharing his values, I loved it. I said, you know, I would love to be on this ride, but I want you to be able to do some things. We got to look at the grassroots folks and empower them and give them what they need to succeed. We have to be a ground up, not a top down organization. And when he said that's what he's about, that's when he won my heart for real. And then he came up with his acronyms. Everybody know Ben Wickler likes an acronym, right? We became Team Fire. I was asked to join the ticket, and I said, okay, this is my guy, I can do this. So we were fighting on all the issues. We were including anyone who wanted to join the fight, and he respects, and we all respect all of our volunteers and everyone. And then we empowered them. As we know, Ben Wickler is a fundraising powerhouse. And he made certain, we didn't satisfy everybody, but he made certain that we had what we need to be successful, and that's why we were able to win 10 of the 13 fights here in Wisconsin that set us on a path. Set us on a path that the rebellion will rise and continue to fight today. And it is my esteemed pleasure to work with him, along with Lee Snodgrass and now Tricia Zunker. And Ben, we want to present you with a token of our affection for leading us on these battles where we won not one, but 2 state Supreme Court seats. And now we're at a moment, an inflection point in Wisconsin history, because thanks to Governor Evers, we now have fair maps. There should be a thunderous applause for that. We have fair maps in the state of Wisconsin, and we are now set. If we set the table right, it is already set. Now we got to put the tablecloth and the plates on it to win 2 more seats in our state assembly and our state senate, and then we can have the majority, and Wisconsin can again lead. True values with the people at the center of everything we do. And only by casting a vision and setting the vision and setting the tone of respecting every single person, and let it be known that we are on the side of humanity, that we see people. We see people. Will Ben come out and join us to present a token of our appreciation? Ben Wickler is our Obi-Wan. I embarrass him all the time. He's Obi-Wan and Captain America all rolled into one. Thank you, Chair Wickler. I appreciate you. He's the brother I didn't know I had. I love him. Oh. Thank you, Ben. It was a ride. Oh. From my heart. From my heart. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Felicia.
Right.
Thank you. Wait, Felicia, don't leave the stage. Thank you. Thank you, WisDems. This is a great honor. I love to bang a gavel.
Yes, he does. I'll hold that for you.
Thank you very much. And I have a few things to say, but I want to start by saying, Felicia, Tricia, it has been such an honor to work with each of you. When we were first elected, Tricia Zunker's race was the first. Her special election race in the 7th Congressional District, and she ran a dynamite campaign for Congress in the 7th in that moment. I remember when you first decided to run, the first meetings in County Chair Association meeting where we got to meet each other in person, the energy that you brought, the support that we were able to provide, and the partnership, the voters that you energized and inspired, then running again an intense, big campaign, a righteous fight that helped drive out voters, that helped make the statewide victory in 2020 possible. You know, in 2020, we added voters for Democrats in every single county in the state of Wisconsin relative to 2016, including every county in the 7th Congressional District. And Tricia Zunker played a critical role in that.
Yes, thank you.
We're so grateful for that. Your service on the school board, your service on the Ho-Chunk Supreme Court, and then your decision to step up and run for second vice chair of the state party and your partnership with us over these last several years. I'm deeply grateful, and I'd like to ask everyone to join me in thanking second vice chair Tricia Zunker on behalf of the entire Democratic Party for your service and your partnership. Thank you. And first Vice Chair Felicia Martin, County Supervisor Felicia Martin, righteous force of nature Felicia Martin. There's so much to say. It started for me when I called to ask your advice, because I'd heard from multiple people that they didn't make any major life decisions without checking in with Felicia Martin. And pretty quickly I felt like this is who I want to run for state party chair with. And I remember when we met in that room and I asked you if you'd do it, and you agreed. And then the race was on, and we had our motto: fight, include, respect, and empower. The values that have informed the work that we've done every single week, every single day in our time leading the state party. We talk every week and often multiple times a week. We check in through thick and through thin, through all kinds of impossible to have predicted challenges. It has been often such an enormous challenge, but always such an enormous honor to serve by your side, to work with you, to problem solve with you, and to find a path, to find a way when there was no way. Felicia Martin was already something of a Wisconsin political legend, because in 2008, in the Obama first presidential campaign, she started organizing for Obama before he announced he was running for president.
I'm the reason he ran.
She organized, how many neighborhood teams was it?
26.
26 neighborhood teams that Felicia Martin launched in the Obama campaign. Wisconsin had 2 national co-chairs of the Obama re-election campaign. It was Senator Russ Feingold and Felicia Martin. She was the person everyone wanted to call to make sure she was involved in the fight. But by the time we connected, Vice Chair Martin had developed a very acute compass for where she wanted to put her energy, what would actually make sense to pour yourself into, things that actually aligned with her values, which are all of our values. And so for me, her agreeing to run with me was both a great honor and a challenge to always live up to those values, to always try to reach to do the right thing, even when it was politically hard. And starting from that first DNC meeting when we got an emergency call in the middle of it and had to start problem solving right away, leading a state party, leading a county party, as so many leaders of different party units in this room know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of complexity, and you have to get through all of that to get to the thing that actually makes a difference in people's lives, which is electing people who are ready to do the work for people. And Vice Chair Martin has always held that as our North Star of the party. Felicia, I'm so grateful that you stuck with me and with this project and with this party for all of these years. I know there's lots of fights to come in the future, but at this moment, I'd like to ask everyone here to join me in congratulating and thanking First Vice Chair Felicia Martin. Thank you. Let's take a picture of these. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we go now?
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank former Second Vice Chair Lee Snodgrass for her extraordinary work running with me and Felicia in our first term, and then later running for State Assembly. It's been such a pleasure to work with her. And former State Secretary Meg Andrich, who's with us today, who has served with us for 4 years, doing such tremendous work as we led the party. And Secretary Kim Butler and Treasurer Randy Udell, we're so lucky to have you carrying forward this work with your institutional memory and your attention to making sure we get it right. And a last big thank you from a group of people I'd like to invite to join me here on stage is my family. So I want to ask my mom, my stepdad Mike, Jack, my 7-year-old, Mac, my 13-year-old, Susie, my 10-year-old, and my wife, Beth, to join us here. Pumpkin is at home, living her best life. Let's go over here to the side, you guys. Stand here for 1 second. I'm going to talk a second more. Or come over with me, Mackie. So, when I first ran for chair, was a little bit of a challenge. Our whole family. The kids were a little younger back then. You can see in the photo. I was a little younger. Beth seems to have gotten younger in the intervening years. And my mom and Mike, I don't know how that happened.
We got older.
I don't know. But this has been a family project. This has taken so much from everyone on this stage and our extended family. Today is Father's Day. I want to say happy Father's Day to every father here, to every father figure, and everyone who's celebrating a father. And I have my dad, Dan Wickler, who's in the photo as well, and my stepfather, Mike. And I am so incredibly lucky. Mike has put these kids to bed at moments when Beth and I had to be out across the country, along with my mom, so many times, has played such a huge role in their lives throughout each of these last 6 years and through each of the, especially during these 6 years that we've lived here in Wisconsin. And you've played such a big role in my life. I learned so much about what it means to be a good person and to work and fight for justice and to hold integrity at the core of who you are from my stepdad, Mike. And I'm so grateful to you, Mike. Thank you. My mom, I talked about it yesterday. My mom has taught me about social justice since the day I was born, and taught me about empathy and taught me about group dynamics, which it turns out is very helpful when you're leading a state party. And my mom and Mike have always raised me with this idea that anything was possible if you put your mind to it, and that your responsibility on this earth is to leave it a little bit better for those who come next. I'm so grateful to you, Mom. Thank you. Mac was our first kid and is the only kid who remembers life before Wisconsin with any kind of vividness, and made the move here and immediately started, as you do, Mac, making friends everywhere you went, tuning into people, showing us about how to adapt and how to rise to different moments and how to find your own way, how to self-advocate and how to recognize others and show them that they have worth as well. Mac is if you'll get to know Mac, you'll discover someone who just has so much empathy and so much groundedness. And Mac, you've grown up so beautifully during these 6 years. Thank you.
Also, it's an Iron Man gavel.
It's an Iron Man gavel. Susie, when you first meet her, might seem a little bit shy. And then you get to know her and you discover the biggest personality that you've ever met, who is making jokes all the time, who is lighting people up, who's bringing people together, who has curiosity, who has joy, who's trying to figure out how to make everything work for everybody, and at the same time having her own passions and her own interests and her own drive. One of my great joys is reading to these kids before bed. And Susie and I have gone on some great adventures all over the universe and the multiverse in our bedtime reading. And Susie, I'm so excited to have so many more of those nights, because I'm not going to be on the road as much now. Thank you, Susie. You've been such an amazing partner. Jack, I have to tell you, is a total goofball and has a gigantic big heart and such a big brain at the same time. Jack can be a troublemaker in the most glorious ways, and also someone who tunes in when people are feeling sad or they're having a challenge. Like Susie and like Mac, Jack has such a big heart for people, and it's something that we're so proud of Jack for. And all three of these kids, I have to tell you, are going to do amazing things in this world, and we're going to be there cheering for them. Jack, thank you. We've been trying to make a Wisconsin that these kids and every kid should want to have the kinds of opportunities and joys that every kid should deserve, the kind of place that every kid should be able to grow up. And, well, thanks. And none of this would be possible without the most amazing, wonderful woman I've met in my entire life, who I'm just madly in love with, who has, in partnership, just overcome immense, impossible challenges at every step, including moments when the world was such a whirlwind and I had to drop everything. And Beth somehow managed to pick it all up while also changing the world in massive ways herself. I fell in love with Beth when we were in college. We were putting up posters for a protest. And we came kind of from different worlds. I was up here in Wisconsin, and Beth was in Little Rock, Arkansas growing up. And what I discovered about Beth is that she is so fundamentally driven by her values, by her integrity, by her belief that every person should be treated with respect, and with the rigor and the conviction that you have to figure out what effect things will actually have and try to make the world reflect what will actually help people and lift people up. Her commitment to fighting against racism and bigotry, her commitment to fighting against poverty, her commitment to just ensuring that people are treated with dignity. That's something that she helps lead in our whole family, that she holds me to, that she holds herself to impossibly high standards that she somehow exceeds every day. This has been really hard. I know how hard it's been. I don't know how you've been able to do everything that you've done for these last 6 years. Beth, I'm so grateful to you. Could I ask everyone to join me in giving a round of applause to Beth? Okay, so I recommend this family very highly, but you can't have it. It's my family. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you, Mackie. We'll come back when we're about ready to announce the results of the election. Thanks, everyone. We'll take a break for a few minutes, and we'll be back with some thank yous and then some news. Thanks, everybody.
Please welcome back to the stage, Haben Goydam. And Chair Ben Wickler.
In a moment, we'll have the results of our elections. Before those are announced, I have some thank yous I want to deliver and a quick ask. The ask is to remember that while we have elections in, depending on which election you're counting, a number of months, we also have fights happening right now. In our state budget, there's a battle over the governor's priority of securing funds for K-12 public education, for childcare, and for our university system. And I want to ask folks to put in your phones to call the Wisconsin State Legislative Switchboard and call your Republican legislators. The number is 608-266-9960. So you can put that in your phone, 608-266-9960. We're fighting alongside every elected Democrat in our legislature and our governor and our statewide electeds for a state where every kid has a fair shot. Second, the big ugly bill that Trump is trying to force through Congress with support from every Wisconsin Republican serving, that bill needs to be killed. And the way to kill it is to raise your voice. So I'm asking you to call Senator Ron Johnson and to call all 6 of our current Republican members of the House. The congressional switchboard number is 202-224-3121. That's 202-224-3121. So tomorrow, when they get back to work, light up their phones. And lastly, before I turn it over to our Elections Commission Chair, Haben Goydam, some big thank yous. Could I ask everyone to join me in giving a huge thank you to the Chula Vista staff that have been working here, feeding us, taking care of us, making our rooms lovely. Thank you, Chula Vista. I'd like to ask everyone to give a huge thank you to the WisDems staff. And thank you to all the members of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin team, consummate professionals who work hard every day, including IBEW Local 494 and the DPW organizing unit with the Campaign Workers Guild. Such a great convention. I'd like to thank all of the volunteers at this convention who've done such wonderful work to make this possible. Folks taking their time. Special thanks to the Carpenters Union, who have served as our sergeant at arms at this convention and who've been doing so for my entire time as chair, and possibly, we're not sure how far back the records go, for decades. Thank you to the Carpenters for your service to this party. And a giant thank you to all the speakers, all the trainers, all the candidates, all the party leaders, all the delegates, and all the guests. Let's give a giant round of applause to everyone who chose to be here when they could have been anywhere else because they believe in what this party stands for. Thank you to all who voted this morning, and thank you to Haben Goydam, our Elections Commission Chair. And to all the members of our Elections Commission and our Credentials Commission, it's time now for the moment you've been waiting for. I will leave the stage and leave it to Haben to announce the results.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Wisconsin Democrats. Before I announce the results, I do want to give a special thank you to the people in the room that were volunteers, that were there for hours, sitting diligently to make sure votes were counted accurately. So thank you to those volunteers. I don't even know if any of them even had a snack to eat, but I'm now very pleased to provide the election results. So the Democratic Party of Wisconsin Election Commission, having observed the balloting and the tallying process of the contested race for DPW chair, has reviewed all the election materials and has the following results to report. Devin Remacher has received 485 votes. 437 were first choice votes and 48 were second choice votes. William Garcia has received 139 total first choice votes and was eliminated after the first round of tallying. And Joe Zepecki has received 415 votes, 330 first choice votes, and 85 second choice votes. Devin Remacher has received a majority of votes in the second round of tallying and is declared the winner for the position of DPW State Chair. I would at this time I would like to thank all of the candidates for running, and at this time I would like to welcome to the stage Devin Remiker. Thank you.
Thank you, Wisconsin Democrats. I am honored to have your support to lead this party forward, but first, I also want to thank Joe Zepecki and William Garcia for running. For the work they have done, the work they will do to continue to build this party and make sure that we move forward united. I've appreciated the opportunity to have a dialogue during this race. I think it's clear, to borrow a turn of phrase, we got a lot of work to do. And I want to figure out how we can all work together to best support Democrats in every corner of this state. Thank you both so much. I've really appreciated this campaign with you. Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate our new first vice chair, Sarah Godlewski. Our second vice chair, Elder Joshua Taylor. As well as our returning secretary, Kim Butler. And of course, last but not least, Treasurer Randy Udell. Randy! I'm looking forward to serving with all of you over the next 2 years to make sure that we are building the strongest party possible and supporting our candidates, volunteers, and party leaders across this state. And most of all, I want to thank you all, the delegates and volunteers who are here today. You are the ones who do the hard work. You are the ones who organize that lead, and I am so grateful that we have been able to unify under a vision for the party that builds on what works instead of rebuilding from scratch so that we can hit the gas heading into 2026. And there is one thing that we can do, and it is elect Democrats at all levels to send a message to Donald Trump and Republicans in this state that we will not stand for their divide and conquer politics any longer. We will win big. I'd also like to thank the hardworking Democratic Party of Wisconsin staff, and I'd like you to stand up and be recognized. Yeah, stand up. Yeah, do it. Thank you so much. It ain't easy to put together a convention. I know it firsthand, and I appreciate both this and the tireless work that you have all done through the years. It's going to be an honor to work with you all. I'd also like to thank some of my supporters, leaders Hesselbein, Neubauer, Congresswoman Gwen Moore, former party chairs Martha Love, Jeffrey Neubauer, Martha Lanning, and of course, Ben Wickler. I'd also like to thank the countless other party leaders, CD chairs, county party chairs, co-chairs, vice chairs, secretaries, and treasurers, the folks that are on the front line of our party, fighting every single day to build our organization, to reach out to folks, and doing the work. Thank you all. I'd also like to thank my campaign team. You all put in a tremendous effort. I really appreciate everything you did to support me and make sure that I was in the right places at the right times. It's always hectic at a convention, but I really appreciate how we were able to keep on track and make sure we talk to as many people as possible. Thank you all so much. I'd also like to thank my friends that are here today, my family that are here today. I would not be here without you. Thank you for your support every step of the way. It means the world to me. Thank you. Last but not least, I'd like to thank someone very special to me, my wife, Emma. I'd like you to stand up too. No, come on. She is my rock. I could not do this work without her. Through the years, she has made it possible for me to do what I do, and I'm grateful each and every day to call her my wife. Thank you. I love you. So listen, I said it in my remarks. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin works. We take on the big fights, and we win. And at this moment, every second counts. We got to get back to work. We are just 18 months away from a trifecta and 18 months away from history. Let's hit the gas, and when we win, it won't be an accident. It will be because we put in the work. It will be because of our 72 county strategy that supports every county party, partners with them, and grows this party from the bottom up. And it'll be because we've helped candidates at all levels of the ballot, and because we show up in communities year-round and tell people that we are the party that fights for the working class. We are the party that will defend your rights and freedom, and we are the party that will protect this democracy. I am so excited about what's ahead for Wisconsin Democrats. Thank you all. Let's get to work.
For the final time, please welcome back to the stage Chair Ben Wickler.
Wisconsin Democrats, did you have a good convention? I have one last announcement, which is for members of the Administrative Committee, the location of the Administrative Committee meeting, which, yes, some of us here have more meetings to come today. Very lucky in that regard. It will be in the North Atrium, which is the room where you may have eaten ice cream with Governor Evers yesterday. So the North Atrium for that Administrative Committee meeting. For the rest of us, I'd like to entertain motions to adjourn. Do we have such a motion? Do we have a second? Any discussion? Hearing none. Oh, good question. Next year's convention, which will be announced over the announcing system when we pull up the notes about where and when it is. We're going to move to a final vote on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning the 76th convention of the Modern Democratic Party of Wisconsin, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed to adjourning for some reason, please say nay. The ayes have it. This convention is adjourned. Thank you so much, Wisconsin Democrats. Thank you.
Appreciate